We first need to create a character sheet. To do so, click on the library button on the bottom right first. It'll bring up the library panel. Click on the Create PC shortcut on that panel. It will set all the buttons up on the far right so that you have all the records that you need access to. Then select the Characters button on the right. Click the green Add Item button in the Character Selection window. We're going to set be an elf. We have a character name field here. And with whatever you want. All the other fields, class and level, race, and kit, will be filled in by drag and dropping those particular objects there. At the bottom, there are some fields that you may want to fill in manually. Sometimes when you apply a race or a class, these fields might get populated. You'll also note that many places there are these little gears. In case when you click on the one on abilities, it'll bring up the ability scores that are currently set here. In this case, we're going to set the ability scores for this one. And as I set them, you'll note that these fields are updated. If you need to have modifiers that aren't managed by effects, and we'll cover effects in another tutorial, you can set them here. This one, only the DM can set that, and it will allow you to set a base score. So instead of 12 being your base will be whatever is set there. These are modifiers. You have 2 of them that you can use. So if you have just a temporary modifier that you can't manage any other way, you can put it there. It'll adjust the total and show it there, and then all of your fields will be adjusted for that. And that goes for all of these. Percentile scores really only affect strength, and that's 18 only on strength, 1 to 100. All the rest of these have a percentile field, and that's because some wishes will allow you to go 10% per wish above 16. So this is there so you can keep track of that. The saves also has a gear. It's similarly set up. You got the mod base, modifier, and temporary modifiers. And these are, again, if you can't manage them with effects, you can place them in here. You generally don't need to adjust these unless you have some special case. When you apply a class, it should adjust this for you. As you level up, this will be changed automatically. The combat section down here has several fields. Weapon penalty is what your class uses for non-proficiency penalty. So if you are a mage using a weapon that you don't have proficiency with, say you're proficient with a staff but not with a dagger, whatever penalty is in this box will be automatically applied to that weapon until you apply proficiency to that weapon, which will be shown in the Actions tab, and we will cover that later. This field is populated typically by when you apply a class and when you level up. Initiative modifiers, generally this will be empty. If for whatever reason you need a base modifier to your initiative score, you can place it there. Turn Undead is for clerics and other classes that might or might not have turn. If this is anything but 0, you'll be able to turn Undead. And it is, again, tracked typically through applying a class, gaining a level. It will adjust this automatically for you. Base AC, generally this is going to be 10 unless you are a non-standard race. The field will be there if you need it. When your armor makes adjustments to your AC, that will be here. Shield modifier will be here. We don't have either one of these on right now, so they're both 0. This is the modifier for dexterity. Here, defense -2, it's apply -2. If you need to make a modifier to all of this for whatever reason and effects won't manage it, you can put that there in the MISC. Hit point base, this is how many hit points you have. This will be adjusted generally whenever you apply a class. It will automatically roll your hit points and place them here. This is the base hit points. If you had a constitution modifier, like here, we have 1, but we don't have a class added, so it's not going to have it. But what would happen is you have, say you roll a 6 on your hit points, it'd be 6 there, then 1 there, and then the total would be 7. You can apply modifiers here if you need to, for whatever reason, if they're temporary, whatever, you place them both here. This is a surprise dice. Generally, this will be a D10, and it defaults to that. If you need to apply a D6, you would just drag a D6, place it in there, and that means that your surprise dice is now a D6. This is what you will be surprised on. So 1 to 3 will surprise you. You can apply modifiers here. You can also apply modifiers in effects. And if you want to roll your surprise check, you just double click that. And you can see here he rolled a 6. He was not surprised, and he made it by 3. And then move. The base will be set when you apply the race. Generally it's 12. Some other races have less. Encumbrance will be set based on how much equipment you have. As you get more equipment over your strength allowed weight, this will adjust your movement speed. Right now, since we don't have a race set, it's applying a penalty here. This will change once we get the race applied. You can have modifiers here as well, and then at the end there'll be the total. Sonic powers I'm not going to cover. We have this prototype to where you can use these, but right now I'm not covering that. The order to create a character is first, create the character sheet. Second, give it a name. Third, set your ability scores, like we've already done here. And then you need to apply a race. If you don't apply their race in the right order, your modifiers for that race may not be applied correctly. So you must have abilities set, and then you apply the race. So in this case, I'm going to apply elf, and you'll notice that dexterity will go up 1 and constitution will go down 1. You just drag and drop. Dexterity went up 1, constitution went down 1. You can also see in here that I got some extra proficiency bonuses and some other things with other various things. And then it added this little bullet point here. You can click on it and you can read specifics of an elf. Next is you choose a class. In this case, I'm going to make a multi-classed fighter mage. You can be single-classed, you can make multi-class, and you can make dual-class characters with this. So what we first need to do is add a class. We added fighter, and now we're going to drag and drop mage. And on the class box, you can see several things. This field right here, the total experience, will be how much experience you've earned over the lifespan of the character. If I had experience here, there'd be a little green check box here to apply it to these two classes. Since I don't have any there, there is no box there. There are also these little tick boxes here and here. Some classes receive bonus, 10% bonus experience for ability scores. If you meet that criteria, you take these off manually, and it will apply those bonuses to those classes when you click the green checkbox to apply your total experience. There's also tick boxes here on the left of the class. And this is for dual class specifically. In this case, we're doing multi-class, but if we were dual classing and we'd started off as a fighter and we wanted to stop being a fighter and go to mage, we would uncheck the fighter box, leave the mage box checked. From here on out, it would start managing itself under the assumption that mage was our primary class. So when you drag and drop, it will make calculations and adjustments based on that. Right now, it currently gives maximum hit points at first level. This may be set up as a campaign setting to where the DM can choose to use that or not. So we have class, we have race, and kits are also an option. In this case, I've only got one of them set up currently, It's the Myrmidon, and you can drag and drop that as well. In this case, it gives me the option to pick a extra specialization. I am going to choose Longsword because I'm doing an elf. And it will apply all those options to the character sheet in the other tabs. And you'll note now it gives me, I have an AC of 7, my THAC0 is 20, my initiative is 0, my surprise is 3, and my move is 12. If you go back and look at combat, you can see some things have changed. My weapon penalty is -2. That's because it picked the least penalizing one between the two of these, which was the fighter, and it's -2. Hit points are 7. I have no constitution bonus because my con is 14, so there is no modifier there. Total hit points is 7. Move base was set to 12. You can also see that my race gave me an ability Infravision, and it was placed into the senses section. When you have gained enough experience to level up, you do the same thing you did when you create the character. You grab the class and you drag it and drop it on the character sheet. It will advance your hit points, change the experience needed. It will adjust your savings throw if it needs to, also THAC0, and various other things. In this case, I'm going to drag and drop another mage. See down here in the chat box, I've gained hit points. Arcane spell level changed to 2. THAC0 changed to 19 for the fighter.